Thank you for tuning in to the Property Guide and ET Now. This is your one-stop guide to property investments in India. Now, as always, I'd like to thank you first of all for your response to our episode last week about BKC, Mumbai and Lucknow. And if you have any more property-related questions, feel free to write to us. Our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. It'll be our pleasure to try and answer as many of your questions as possible on the show. This week, as CIDCO kickstarts the process of making the Navi Mumbai airport a reality, we'll tell you if any of the city's areas are likely to benefit. We compare NCR's realty hubs of Gurgaon and Noida, and our experts will tell you which is a better bet for an investment. And we'll discuss investment options in Pune and Chennai. All right, joining us today on the show, Ravi Ahuja, Executive Director at Cushman & Wakefield, Jayashree Kurup, Head of Content and Research at magicbricks.com. I'm so glad to have both of you on the show this week. Let's get straight to our first topic of discussion. Now, the proposed international airport at Navi Mumbai received somewhat of a shot in the arm. CIDCO has floated a tender to find partners to develop the airport. Now, today on the show, we'll focus on how this project, which has been delayed for so many years already, will maybe clear some of the region's unsold inventory. Remember, we talked about the fact that Navi Mumbai has had a pile-up of inventory. Sales have slowed down drastically over the course of 2013. Let's first take a look at what the prices are like around that airport area, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Mumbai's dream of having a second commercial airport has taken another step towards reality. CIDCO has floated a global tender inviting bids for the airport in Navi Mumbai. CIDCO will hold 26% equity in the venture, which will spread across 1,160 hectares of land and is likely to be operational in 2017. The airport project, which brought several new neighborhoods into the limelight, has been delayed by over 3 years, which has caused prices of land in the areas to first rise sharply and then plummet. Ulve, for example, which is the location of the proposed airport, touched a peak of 7,614 rupees a square foot in 2012, rising nearly 40%, and then crashed to 4,875 rupees per square foot currently. Homes in Panvel, which is in the vicinity of the airport, are priced at 4,500 rupees a square foot. Kalamboli, one of the stations in the upcoming metro rail project, witnessed a 20% rise over 2 years, and homes here are currently priced at 5,250 rupees a square foot. Homes in the fast-developing suburb of Kamote witnessed a 28% rise over the last 2 years and are currently priced at an average of 5,850 rupees a square foot. All right, so that was Navi Mumbai. Ravi, we've talked about this airport for so long now. We've seen it being delayed repeatedly. And, this is just the tender process. We are going to see 2 changes of government before this airport hits ground. And it's supposedly now going to open in 2017. Do you expect changes on the ground right now? Do you expect anything to move the needle in Navi Mumbai?
Yeah, as you rightly said, this has been debated for so many years. And therefore, it has been envisaged, planned. And to my mind, the real estate markets have already run up, discounting this development. Having said that, I think today the market conditions are fairly subdued. We're seeing a very tight money market. Developers have started correcting their prices in Navi Mumbai. To my mind, there will not be any immediate price impact or appreciation just because of the initiation of the bids. It is yet to be seen when actual groundwork will commence and they will break ground. I think that will be the litmus test. And once that happens, we will start seeing some demand, maybe from the investor market, maybe in just a couple of pockets such as Panvel or Ulve, which will get traction because of the airport. But it is still far away.
Right, Jayashree, I want to bring you in here. Now, if we do see this airport as an eventuality, what locations do you expect to profit the most from the airport?
We had the mayor of Navi Mumbai with us in Magic Bricks a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about the Naina areas, the Panvel, Ulve and areas like that. Once the project gets off the ground and end users start seeing benefit in staying close to the airport, you would see that, but that's a very long-term thing. Today, I think what is happening is investors are coming in. But what could really push the markets is that the NENA areas, the new airport influenced areas that have been identified, there are 2 districts of Raigad and Thane, and there are about 7 tehsils that have been identified. This really means that the government is indicating that this is where the next round of investments and growth can be. If you have the money to invest today and have holding capacity for 6-7 years, yes, there could be returns for you.
Well, Jayashree, if someone was looking to invest in Mumbai right now, trying to choose between Thane and, say, a Panvel, what would you recommend? Does the airport, or the fact that there's some sort of a suggestion of an airport right now, give Panvel an advantage over Thane?
I wouldn't say so. I think Thane is a far more established market. Immediate drivers, there is an economic driver, it is a livable area. And if nothing else, if you purchase property in Thane today, you would be able to get direct rental returns, even if you're not planning to stay there. Whereas in Panvel, it is a very long-term investment. So if it's a Thane versus Panvel, I would still say that currently it would be Thane and not Panvel that I would recommend.
Now, we have a quick question for you. Now, if you were to recommend a location in Navi Mumbai right now to our viewers who want to invest, not as end users, but looking as investments, what would it be?
I think I would go for the Taloja, which is going to get connected very quickly by the metro. There's immense amount of work on ground happening. I witnessed that. I would bank on Taloja alongside maybe Kalamboli. These are some locations I would prefer. Panvel and Ulve are probably a medium to long-term bet, but these are immediate.
All right, so those are recommendations, and what we've done is we've gotten our experts to put their heads together and give us a list of recommendations of projects that you can take a look at. Here you go. Well, if you're looking to buy a home in the surrounding areas of the new airport, here are some options. Orchid Heights from Sunny Buildtech, Gloria from Neil Siddhi Group, Juhi Greens from Juhi Developers, Bhumi Grandeur of the Gajra Group, and Sai Mannath from Paradise Group. And finally, Greens from India Bulls Real Estate. Time to take some questions. Madan has written in. He's an NRI looking to buy a 1 or a 2-bedroom apartment in Mumbai with a budget of 30 to 50 lakh rupees, investment horizon of 5 years. He's narrowed down his location to the western suburbs between Andheri and Mira Road. Please give him some options. Jayashree, I'm going to come to you first. Now, for that budget of less than 50 lakh rupees, he's going to have to go a little further than Mira Road, isn't he?
I went through the site and I found that there are some options for him on the site. He gets about 400, 500 square feet apartments of about 1 BHK in a 30 lakh budget in Nalasopura, Vasai, Naigaon, Virar. These are places where I find that there are properties in his budget range, and a 2 BHK option in Virar, Vasai and Mira Road. It's about 600 square feet apartments.
If you have any more questions about Mumbai, you can write to us. Another question, Keval has written in. He's looking to invest in an apartment in Ahmedabad with a budget of 50 to 60 lakh rupees, an investment horizon of 5 years. He wants some options as well. Now, 50 to 60 lakh rupees in Ahmedabad can buy him a lot. Where would you like him to focus in terms of making an investment?
Yeah, see, this investor is advised to be a little cautious. Ahmedabad has seen stagnant to negative growth in pricing over a period of time. But if those were the budgets and I was looking at putting my money in Ahmedabad, I would probably go for, a location called Bhopal or even SG Highway. And those seem to be the growth corridors over a period of time. Ahmedabad has largely seen end-user demand, and therefore the investment market over there doesn't suggest that you can expect immense appreciation over a short period of time.
What would be a fair appreciation from Ahmedabad?
I would assume 8 to 12% is thinkable. Particularly if we have their ex-Chief Minister, Mr. Modi, coming up as a prospective candidate. So there is a talk about Gujarat and Ahmedabad particularly gaining traction out of that. But other than that, 8 to 12% could be a reasonable expectation.
Time for us to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll compare Gurgaon and Noida and find out which one offers you better returns as an investment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide on ET Now. Thank you for staying with us. Both Jayashree and Ravi are still with us, helping us make smarter decisions when it comes to buying property. Now, on the show in the past, we've talked about the NCR market, giving you investment options. Today, we're going to compare 2 main regions, Gurgaon and Noida. And the reason why we're picking this up is because we get so many questions from you asking us which one makes more sense. Well, what we'll do is we'll weigh the pros and cons of each of those two areas and tell you which one makes a better option. Right now, let me bring in Avan, who's going to give us an update on the ground of what the prices are like in both Gurgaon and Noida. Avan.
Thanks for that, Faye. Now, specific pockets in the NCR cities of Gurgaon and Noida have witnessed a smart appreciation over the last 2 years. Let's start with Gurgaon. Homes on Dwarka Expressway are currently priced at 5,125 rupees per square foot compared to 3,275 rupees per square foot in 2011. Now that's a whopping increase of 56% in just 2 years. Golf Course Road has seen a 24% appreciation in property prices over the last 2 years. Homes here are currently priced at 13,200 rupees per square foot, the most expensive locality in Gurgaon. Sona Road has seen a rise of 32% in the property prices. Homes here are currently priced at 8,475 rupees per square foot compared to 6,425 rupees per square foot in 2011. On the other end of NCR, property prices in Sector 78 Noida has seen a whopping 46% rise in just 2 years. The homes here are currently priced at 5,100 rupees per square foot compared to 3,600 rupees per square foot in 2011. Sector 137, located on the Noida Expressway, has seen a 32% rise in property prices over the last 2 years. The homes here are currently quoting at 4,875 rupees per square foot. Homes in Old Noida Sector 50 are currently priced at 7,975 rupees per square foot compared to 6,425 rupees per square foot in 2011, an increase of 24%. With that, it's back to you, Faye.
All right, Avan, many thanks for those details. Ravi, let's get straight to it. Between Gurgaon and Noida, of course, lots of pros and cons, and a lot of people will possibly decide based on where they're going to be working. But if I'm making an investment in the NCR region, would you place your money on Gurgaon or on Noida?
So if I were to take a step back and draw a parallel between Gurgaon and Noida, I think both have their positives. Gurgaon on one side gains on the image. It is also very established as a commercial destination, and it has great commercial activity ongoing. IT companies, multinationals, they've made it a second or their first front office activities are happening out of that region. Gurgaon is also considered to be a little speculative when it comes to investment talk, and therefore we've seen some 15-20% correction already taken place. So these are some of the positives and negatives. But talking about Noida, if I were to draw a parallel, Noida seems to be far more connected, more affordable. The prices there are reasonable to enter. The base prices are quite low as compared to Gurgaon. And I think the infrastructure there is far more promising. From a long-term appreciation, Faye, I think given the price, base price being as low as half of Gurgaon, when you compare, let's say, the Noida Expressway with, let's say, the golf course extension, which are the thoroughfares of new construction activity, clearly Noida will see a little more uptake in the price appreciation for the actual investor.
Well, I'm glad you finally picked Noida because your pros and cons sort of added up and they were sitting on the fence, the two of them. So Ravi says Noida. Jayashree, you're in Noida right now and you live in Gurgaon. So you tell us, which one do you prefer?
Faye, Ravi is right in weighing the pros and cons. I would say that in Noida, the cycle will be shorter, because the projects are underway and it is livable. The infrastructure is all there, and as soon as the projects come up, it's going to be ready to live. And therefore, it is a large part of the Greater Noida expressways are driven by end users, people who work in this vicinity or who feel that this is the project that they can afford, and therefore they are putting their money in. Gurgaon is a longer term story. Gurgaon does not have infrastructure. It's a serious concern in terms of roads, connectivity and so on. If you look at Dwarka Expressway, where I think a lot of investment has come in the last couple of years, 4 to 5 years, and you've seen that the infrastructure has just not taken off. But there's one part of Gurgaon that I would like to talk about, and that is the Sona sectors. This is not Sona Road. This is Sona proper, where 29 sectors have been carved out by the government. The affordable housing segment is going to come up here, and the government is putting a lot of push into the Sona areas. I personally feel that it may take off faster than the Dwarka Expressway.
So Sona within Gurgaon. Now, obviously, you said Noida, but Noida is massive. There are different sectors, and of course, now there's Greater Noida to consider as well. If I were to ask you to narrow it down to the areas that you think will see the most growth within Noida, what would you tell us?
I think the Noida Expressway, all the location alongside that entire belt of the Noida Expressway, abutting that belt, is a great buy today. Prices have corrected, as I said, and one could actually get great negotiated deals. If one were looking at far more affordable pricing, one could go a little more further towards the Yamuna Expressway, but that's like really back and beyond. But again, well connected, the Taj Expressway to Agra is a very talked about infrastructure project there, which may see light of the day, and therefore we will see some traction eventually in the medium term in those locations.
Jayashree, very quickly, we've got the Sona sector and we've got Noida Expressway. Is there anything you'd like to add to that as areas where you expect to see the most growth?
I went by the site and said, where is the maximum activity? 71 to 78, definitely there's a lot of activity. And sector on the Greater Noida Expressway, we found that sector 137 and 143 seem to be standout sectors. In Gurgaon, the golf course extension is really expensive, but there's a sector 51 where there is a large number of cooperative group housing societies coming up, which seems to be nearing completion, and there is a lot of traction among the middle class.
All right, so if we look at our tally on the screen right now, it does seem like Noida has won. Between the two guests who've listed out pros and cons, it does seem like Noida is a smarter choice. And of course, we got a list, Noida Expressway, Sona sectors. In Noida, sector 71 to 78, sector 51 in Gurgaon. Like always, we've also asked our guests to give us recommendations within the sectors that were just mentioned that would possibly make sense for you. Take a look. If you're looking to buy a home in Gurgaon or Noida, here are some options for you. Manor 1 by Kashish Developers, Aryan City by Raheja Developers, Florina Floors from Today Homes, Florence Estate by the Krish Group, London Square by the Ajnara Group, Mahagun Mazaria by the Mahagun Group, Civitech Sampriti, and Sika Kama Greens in Noida. All right, let's take a few questions. Kadambari Das has written in, single woman looking to buy a 2-bedroom, ready-to-move-in apartment in Gurgaon with a budget of 50 lakh rupees. I'm very proud of single women who write in saying they're going to buy houses on their own. She's narrowed down her choices to Sector 56. Jayashree, Sector 56, 50 lakh rupees as a budget. What would you like her to do? And of course, we're looking for, a solid developer who will, not cause any trouble to someone who's bought something at this point. What would you recommend?
In Sector 56, nothing, Faye. I'm really sorry to say this, but Sector 56 is completely out of our budget. In fact, any ready-to-move-in apartment in Gurgaon is out of our budget unless it is in the areas which are Laldura land. She would be able to get under construction apartments in 3 or 4 places. One is Sector 92, Sector 37D, both on the Dwarka Expressway. There's Sona and there's Sector 82. These are the only areas where I can see projects within her budget, because Sector 50 lakhs is too small a budget for a market like Gurgaon. And these new developing sectors are all under construction, not really livable right now. And when she talks about safety and security, because she's a single woman, I would suggest that she put in her money where she can purchase in one of these sectors. But currently, for a safe and livable option, she should look at a rental option.
You should look at a rental option. All right. So unfortunately, you're going to have to look at a rental option for the time being. I'm sorry to break your heart on that one, but you can get back in touch with us, and we'd love to help you through this process. We know it's a very daunting process. Let's take another question. C.S. Rao has written in. He wants to buy a 3-bedroom apartment in Bangalore with a budget of 2 to 3 crore rupees. Investment horizon of between 3 and 4 years. He's narrowed down his choices to the Glengate by Hiranandani and the Vivaria by K. Raheja. Now, he wants to know which is a better option. Of course, one of them is in Hebbal and the other one is in Koramangala. Ravi, between Hebbal and Koramangala, does Koramangala make more sense? It's already an established neighborhood.
Koramangala is very established. It's a posh suburb of Bangalore. I also feel that the infrastructure there is very established. In that sense, it is, in a way, has already seen the kind of price appreciation and maturity as a location. On the other hand, Hebbal is still emerging and is still a hot spot in terms of a growth corridor. And therefore, over a longer period of time, I think Hebbal may see greater price appreciations because the base rate there is much lower. Having said that, when you talk about rental, clearly Koramangala will beat Hebbal because it is a far more established, much closer to the outer ring road or where the IT, cult or the IT senior management or middle management reside, and therefore the rental schemes over there and the rental rates will be far superior than Hebbal. If you were looking at investment, I think I would clearly go for Hebbal. Yeah.
Right, time for a very quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll talk about Pune and Chennai. Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide in ET Now. Thank you for staying with us. Both Ravi and Jayashree are with us as well. We're trying to answer as many questions as we can on the show. Mitesh Sharma has written in. He's looking to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in Pune with a budget of 55 to 60 lakh rupees and an investment horizon of 5 years. He tells us he's narrowed down his choices: the Life Republic by Kulte Patil, Nanded City by the Magrapata City Group developers, and the Kul Ecolock by Kumar developers. He wants to know which is a better option. Investment horizon 5 years. Where would you recommend he puts his money?
I think of the three, all three seem to be reputed developers. And out of these 3 projects, 2 seem to be in the Hinjewadi proximity location. We've seen Hinjewadi as a great investment destination thanks to the ITITES hub and the activity over there. So I would tend to kind of advise them to look at Hinjewadi. The going capital values there anywhere between 4,700 to 5,200 rupees a square foot. So I think he can identify something in his budget. That entire stretch alongside the highway outside Hinjewadi is great, which connects Mumbai-Pune along the NH4, I guess, yeah.
Right, Abhishek Prasad has written in. He's looking to buy an apartment in OMR in Chennai with a budget of 50 to 60 lakh rupees. He's narrowed down his choice to Pinnacle by Elegant Construction in Cemetery. He wants to know if that's a good option. Now, we keep talking about OMR. It's obviously one of those things that pops up every time we bring up Chennai. So is he bang on with his selection of location?
I think he's bang on. OMR is the IT corridor out there, and Cemetery is a location which I believe sees good activity when it comes to residential. Prices over there prevail between 3,800 to 4,300 rupees a square feet. I personally feel that that's a good location and he should go ahead.
Well, Jayashree, he already has one option on his list, but is there anything he's missing so far? When you look at that entire neighborhood near OMR, is this the best option for him?
Phil, let me first talk about the location. I think, he's spot on because it's close to the TCS, the IT offices. It's close to the engineering colleges, so he will get enough options there. And it is about 12.5 kilometers from Tidal, and I think about 1.4 kilometers from the Perungudi toll gate. So in terms of the location, he's picked up a good location. And I think Elegant Constructions is what he has picked up. When you select a developer, check his past projects, check how he has been delivering off late, because we've seen turbulent market conditions. So you want to be sure that the developer is capable of developing. If he's delivered in the last 2 years, it's a good project to put your money in. Another thing is, go with a project, check what the project is like. The area is fine, but when you go to the project, do see what the construction is like, what the layout is. Check out the other owners, other people who have bought into Elegant Constructions. If that is good, please go ahead and buy. But do your research, and this is something that we keep telling our users. Take your checklist, see why you're investing, and go and visit the project.
All right, so go and visit the project, and of course, always do background checks on your developer. If you have any more questions about investing in Chennai or any of the other cities, write to us. Our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. You can also write to us if there's a particular location that you'd like us to review on the show, or if you want help with tax, with legal paperwork, and with home loans. That's what we're here for, and it's always a pleasure to hear from you. Well, Ravi and Jayashree, thank you so much for spending time with us this week. It's always a pleasure to have both of you on the show. You'll find a copy of the show on our Facebook page, and you can reach me personally on Twitter. Thanks for watching.